When the Massachusetts Bay Colony was founded in the 1630s, it became a stronghold of Puritan belief, a community built on the idea of strict moral order and religious conformity. The colony's leaders believed they were creating a city upon a hill, a model Christian society that would shine as an example for the world. But within just a few years, that vision began to fracture, and one woman, Anne Hutchinson, stood at the center of the storm. Anne Hutchinson was born in England in 1591, the daughter of a minister who often questioned the established Church of England. Like many Puritans, she and her family migrated to Massachusetts in 1634, seeking a place to practice their faith more freely. Anne was intelligent, articulate, and deeply religious, qualities that quickly made her both respected and controversial within the colony. At that time, Puritan ministers in Massachusetts emphasized the importance of good works as a sign of salvation. But Anne believed otherwise. She argued that salvation came solely through God's grace, not through human deeds or strict adherence to church rules. This belief, known as Antinomianism, meaning against the law, directly challenged the authority of the Puritan clergy. Anne began holding religious meetings in her home, where she discussed sermons, scripture, and theology with other colonists. At first, these gatherings were small, attended mostly by women, but soon they grew in size and influence. Even prominent men, including Henry Vane, the colony's young governor, attended her meetings. Her popularity worried the Puritan leaders. Governor John Winthrop and the ministers feared that Anne's teachings would undermine the colony's unity and challenge their control over religious interpretation. Winthrop described her as a woman not fit for our society. To him and others, Anne's defiance represented more than just disagreement. It was rebellion against divine and social order. The conflict reached its height in 1637 in what became known as the Antinomian Controversy. The colony was divided into two factions: those who supported Anne Hutchinson's message of spiritual grace and those who stood with the orthodox Puritan leadership. The tension spread through sermons, public debates, and even political rivalries within the colony. That same year, Anne was brought to trial before the General Court of Massachusetts. It was not just a theological dispute, it was also a test of power and gender. Women in Puritan society were expected to be silent in church and submissive in public life, but Anne refused to conform. During her trial, she stood before the colony's most powerful men and defended her beliefs with remarkable courage and intelligence. The court accused her of heresy and sedition. At one point, she stunned the judges by claiming that God had spoken directly to her, a statement that sealed her fate. In November 1637, Anne Hutchinson was formally banished from the Massachusetts Bay Colony. She and her followers fled to Rhode Island, where she was welcomed by Roger Williams, another dissenter who had been exiled for his religious beliefs. There, Anne helped found the settlement of Portsmouth in 1638, a community based on religious freedom and self-governance. Anne's story did not end there. Years later, after her husband's death, she moved with her children to what is now New York, near the Dutch colony. Tragically, in 1643, she and most of her family were killed in a Native American attack, a grim end to a life defined by faith, defiance, and conviction. Yet her legacy lived on. Anne Hutchinson became a symbol of individual conscience and freedom of thought in early America.